What is going on, guys? It's your boy Infamous coming back at you again with another YouTube video today. We're reacting to Toure's My Virtual Fight with Cheyenne Bryant Explained. Because this bitch ain't no doctor, bruh. This bitch ain't no doctor, okay? She likes to call herself Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. I think I have another video up on my other channel, DBub Reacts. So if you guys wanted to hit that one up too, cool. I might have uploaded this one to DBub Reacts. Who the fuck knows, honestly? But yeah, we're going to go ahead and see his side of the story because unless y'all been hiding under a rock or some shit, man, like, she came for this man's head. She came for this man's head on live TV, and I think he handled it very well. I think he handled this very well because she was trying to, like, she was coming at him hard, bro, and really trying to, like, bitch this man and trying to make him look, like, soft in front of everybody. And I think he handled it very well. Like, I don't know how I would have handled it. I really hope I would have handled it in a similar way as him, but like, bro, he is just he did good. He did good. So let's see his side of the story here because she was just tweaking. I think he posted a clip here. I've seen about 10 seconds of the video, and then I was like, wait, I want to watch it for a YouTube video. So like, let's see what's on.
So this happened. Just stop and go back because I'm wrapping the. So this happened. Just stop and go back. Because I'm wrapping the show and you're
It's the Toure show? Why the fuck are you talking back on the
interrupting me?
First of all,
this is what we spent a whole meeting on this.
First of all, Toure, first of all, Toure.
Why don't you let me wrap the show? I'm ending the show. What is the point of interrupting me?
First of all,
we're getting out of here. Like, what is
no, and she just keeps repeating herself. I'm gonna keep going.
What is the point? It says go to host up
when you're talking to me.
That's me and Cheyenne Bryant fighting on TV. This was last year, 2025. I was the host of the show. She was the #1 permanent.
One second. Make sure it's, you know what I'm saying, we're at the, whoops, not playback speed, HD. Okay, we're good. Appreciate you, Toure. Good looks, man.
Guest. She was on.
Oh, wait, I didn't even say, yo, if you guys are new to the stream, yo, it's a stream. I've been streaming on Twitch. I'm streaming on YouTube now. So, you know what I'm saying, if you want it, go ahead, hit that, you know what I'm saying, sub button, hit that follow button, all that good shit, man. You know what I'm saying, and hit the like button, bro, too, you know what I'm saying.
Every episode, she and I were the heart of the show. This car crash moment happened as I was pulling into the very end of the show during the last episode of the season. The producer was telling me to wrap because we had to stay on time. It was over. And Cheyenne knew we had to wrap because of time. She had been told many, many, many times throughout the season, do not interrupt Toure as he's wrapping the show.
It was crazy.
Written in the script, in every script, do not interrupt Toure as he's
Okay, this is the Toure show. My bad. This is the Toure show.
wrapping the show. She and
Still gonna say that's his show, though.
I and the producer had a whole meeting mid-season about don't interrupt Toure when he's ending the show.
That's so funny.
I tried to avoid her interrupting me by tossing the last question of the show to her so she would feel like the show had ended with her getting to speak a lot.
Doc, what do you think about the notion of holding parents criminally responsible?
I'm not gonna. I love that whoever this is a TikTok. I love that you cropped out her little doctor there too. You see right there. It don't say doctor. It don't say doctor. They cropped that shit out.
For their children's behavior.
I was constantly thinking of ways to placate her massive ego.
I said it earlier. I said it's circumstantial. I think
Unearned ego.
that if a parent is neglecting their child of what's needed for them to be mentally stable and healthy and be in a state of mind where they can actually, you know, operate as a citizen who isn't impaired, then I think that that parent who's providing those resources, you know, should not be have consequence or discipline.
She doesn't
know what the fuck she's talking.
know where she's going.
She just starts talking. Y'all remember that Michael Scott clip where he goes,
sometimes I'll start a sentence and I don't even know where it's going. I just hope I find it along the way. Like an improv conversation. Improvisation.
Cheyenne Bryant is the exact same way because somebody will ask her a question, she'll be like, I love that, and then go on this 2-minute spiel about how she can't fucking, you know, provide her transcripts or doctoral, you know what I'm saying, degree or anything like that, bro. So yeah, I said doctoral.
Again, if you're neglecting your child in any manner, I think there should be consequences to a parent, no matter what, if there's neglect at the hands of a child. But y'all know how I feel. I feel gentle parenting makes for a gentle child.
Unsure of where to go, but desperate to keep talking, she has for some reason looped back into the argument that we had been having all season long, even though it had very little to do with what we were talking about. But she brought us back around to gentle parenting, whatever that really means, because she wanted to take one last jab at me.
Exactly.
Bringing up the issue that she knew might trigger me, because it usually did, because she was so incredibly wrong.
Damn.
All season long,
Damn.
I argued that children should never be spanked or hit, which is what the entire modern child psychology field believes.
Which is interesting because me and a lot of my friends, you know what I'm saying, growing up, like, you know what I'm saying, we got beat. You know what I'm saying? You do something bad, you get a whooping. You know what I'm saying? So you get spanked or whatever the fuck. And you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not even gonna say I see where Cheyenne's coming from, because there's nothing going on up here. It's just words and gibberish and some of the English language up there. He got a book. Goddamn, okay, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? Cheyenne. But it's like I'm not sure if I disagree, because I didn't grow up in a gentle parenting household. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I feel like I'm not, super violent or anything, you know what I'm saying, because I got beat. You know what I'm saying? But like at the same time, bro, I would love to, you know what I'm saying, see how gentle parenting, whatever that is, like, you know what I'm saying, looks after 10, 15, 20 years. You know what I'm saying? I would like that. I would like to see that.
No child development researcher would ever say.
Children should never be spanked or hit, which is what the entire modern child psychology field believes.
No.
Does spanking actually work according to a pediatrician? Okay.
No child development researcher would ever tell you that spanking is a good idea at this point. It only leads to negative behaviors in the child.
It always made me suspicious of her credentials.
I don't know. I don't know. Coming from a kid that got beat, like, you didn't want to get beat again, so you would kind of avoid that. You know what I'm saying? Like, tell your mom, shut up. All right, we got beat. You know what I'm saying? Making fun. You know what I'm saying? Doing this, doing that, swearing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You get a little pop. Like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? So I grew up avoiding things that would get me beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't work all the time, but
to hear her advocate for violent parenting, what person?
I don't know if I would say, okay, beating isn't like necessarily peaceful, but I don't know if I would go as far as saying it's violent parenting. I don't know if I go that far. I'm hearing him out. I'm just, you know what I'm saying, this is my, y'all here for, you know what I'm saying, my opinion as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm reacting.
Who's educated in the field of child development would do that.
I think that there are rules and in their structure, and there's
this nigga
thing
down here
called
nodding
boundaries,
and
and boundaries have been proven to create healthy relationships, not just between people, but for that person within themselves.
Okay, but boundaries don't really relate to corporal.
Boundaries have been proven to create healthy relationships, not just between people, but for that person within themselves.
Okay, but boundaries don't really relate to corporal punishment. You're conflating things that are of different issues.
If we raise kids with no boundaries and no structure and discipline, they go out into the world and they don't understand that, and they end up being in battles, and they end up actually having a lot of issues with law enforcement.
Completely untrue.
False.
People with...
I've never gotten in trouble with the law, and I got beat growing up, bro. A lot of my homies did not get in trouble with the law, and they got whooped. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro.
Law enforcement problems are far more often the victim of abuse or violence in the home than not.
The jails aren't full of people who were gentle parented. It's quite the opposite. They're full of people who were hit as children. Same things with shows like Beyond Scared Straight. Do you think those kids were being hugged every day? Those kids got beat. I'll promise you that.
The data
Beyond Scared Straight is fake as fuck. Let's start there. Are those even real jails? You know what I'm saying? Like, I genuinely, like, they have footage of jails and shit, but like, Beyond Scared Straight is fake as fuck. Let's be real.
Shows that being hit as a child leads to prison much more than not being hit. The notion that parents are hitting children in order to keep them out of prison is completely backwards folk logic that does not fit with the actual data.
The more you put your hands on your child, the more normalized violence becomes, and the more they perpetuate it outside the house.
So Cheyenne's building an argument for violence toward children entirely built on folk wisdom, ignoring the modern knowledge and studies in the child psychology field which she claims to be a part of.
Now, I'm not, and again, I keep pausing it, but I wanted to say I've done zero research. I am just a product of my environment. You know what I'm saying? So I can only speak to my experience, and I really shouldn't even be speaking on the experiences of my friends or anything like that, or like cousins or shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's you know, a lot of the people I grew up with did get whoopings growing up. So, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, it was normal. You know what I'm saying? You do something bad, you get whooped. It was just that. So I haven't done any studying. I'm just, you know what I'm saying, I'm just talking about my own experience. So obviously he says he's done a lot of experience. I'm not sure what his book is about, but it might be about, you know what I'm saying, parenting. You know what I'm saying? So who knows?
For you, civilian, to claim that hitting kids is a good idea
Because she's a civilian. She don't have any degree.
is totally different than a supposed family and child therapist or a psychology expert to argue that when no one else in the field would. That, more than anything, made me certain that she wasn't really a doctor.
Much of her points will be like nonsensical
Yo,
to
Flacco.
actual doctors. But here's the thing. She sounds great to untrained ears. See, in the black
That's right.
community,
Did I not say that in my other video? If you're not paying attention, or if you're like, you know what I'm saying, you got a video on in the background, or you know what I'm saying, you're not really watching and listening and comprehending what she's saying, like, and thinking about it, and like, you know what I'm saying, just digesting it. If you're not digesting it, it's just like, it hits your head and like fucking flies over it, you know what I'm saying, or like flies through your ears or some shit, it's gonna be like, okay, she might know what she's talking about or whatever, you know what I'm saying, you go on about your day. If you listen to her and what she said like 5 minutes ago, none of that bullshit made sense, bro. She said, she just threw in, what was it, like consequences or some shit, or, and the word civilian, and I don't know, she threw in a couple of words that you don't use in every single day, you know what I'm saying, things, and that's what makes her sound smart to people.
we aren't really like great fans of, you know, gentle parenting, spare the rod, spoil the child. You would expect an actual
You gotta be
professional
good,
who's
too.
trained in child therapy to be able to diagnose children, find solutions, figure out why kids are acting this way and how to solve it. Cheyenne Bryant, I guess, solution for a bratty kid is to bring out that belt and whoop him. And Toure
Damn.
is like, bro, this is not what a doctor who's trained in child therapy would say. Even if you're one of those people who agree with her and you agree that 2-year-olds deserve corporal punishment, you at least have to see some type of red flag in a doctor not being able to contain herself as somebody rebuttals or responds. Now, in this case, Toure wasn't even rebuttal. He was just trying to end the show. He was trying to wrap up. So he was doing his little monologue before wrapping up. Because he offered up any type of critique, she couldn't even allow him to say 3 sentences out of his mouth before she tries to interrupt to go on another 4 or 5 minute soliloquy.
There's a big world that they are able to participate in, but they cannot be the center of attention to everything. And so I'll end on saying,
She said, I'll end on this because the producer was then telling her, stop
Shut the
talking.
fuck up.
You've been talking forever. And she's signaling back, okay, I'll stop eventually. It really destroys the flow of the show to have one person talk for a long time, especially when they have nothing to say.
what I do agree with is that every child is different, and that every child may not necessarily need
She's not making a coherent or intelligent point.
the same
No.
level of discipline, but
She's just saying everybody's different. She just said it again.
every child does need structure and discipline in order for that child to grow up and be an adult who understands that this is the law of the land, this is how life works, and successful people, not just only externally, but internally, what they do carry at the nucleus of who they are is discipline and boundaries.
All of that was
Oh,
somehow a defense of parents hitting children. Meanwhile, the producer is yelling at me to wrap the show because we're about to be late. We've got to stay on time.
Yeah.
So I've got to flow into the ending, and I don't want to destroy her silly point and make her
What
look
point?
bad, but I'm letting her know
Her point.
I heard the gentle parenting dig. So I say,
If gentle parenting creates gentle children, sign me up. I definitely want to create more gentle adults, especially men.
that's a
To disagree with that in this climate is insane. I don't want to be some woke asshole or nothing. That's a joke. That's a dig it. I don't know which of the Paul brothers said it, but women have it hard. Women have it hard, bro. Men are dangerous. Y'all get the point, man. Y'all get the point, bro. Like, women are in danger because of men. And this isn't like a pick me moment. Like, bro, I'm took. I'm took. I've been picked. You know what I'm saying? So it is a fact that men are dangerous to women, bro. It is a fact through, like, you know what I'm saying, sexual stuff, you know what I'm saying, physical abuse, mental abuse. Like, women do this stuff too, but like it is way less reported and way more prominent, I feel like, when it is the man as the aggressor. That's all I'm gonna say there. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't have like Pacific stats in front of me, but you know what I'm saying? That is the climate. That's the temp out there. You know what I'm saying? So
way of disagreeing with her in an agreeable way. You can't argue against the world needing more gentle men. Male violence is a central problem in the world. So that was a gentle retort to her
I should just let him play the video, bro.
non-point, and it wrapped the show up on a nice tone. And suddenly, we were on time. At that moment, I had about 60 seconds left to read 60 seconds worth of business, sponsor promos, and stuff like that. So I had pulled it off. Cheyenne knows I'm wrapping the show, but she won't let it go.
I definitely want to create more gentle adults, especially men, especially men.
When I said, hold on, everybody, that's my signal to her that she can't get back
done.
in. Please stop talking. I'm wrapping the show. Because I can hear her trying to get back into the conversation. She's trying to interrupt me.
You are a
My
gentle.
God, are you kidding?
Now, we're not in the same room. We're on Zoom. I can only hear her through an earpiece. And if I'm talking, I cannot hear what's coming through the earpiece. I can only hear that someone is talking, but not what they're saying. And I know that if two people are talking at once, the audience can't hear either of them, and it's terrible TV. We've talked about this 100 times,
Damn.
but she won't
My nigga
stop.
counting.
Hold on, guys.
For a second
won't shut
time,
the fuck
I'm
up.
telling her again, hold on, please stop talking. I'm the host and I'm not relenting. That means you must stop talking. Let me do my job. I've got to be able to do my job as far as shaping the conversation for maximum impact and holding us on time. When you interrupt me, you're making it impossible for me to do my job.
Hold on, guys. That's what we need in the world is more gentle men who understand.
Who put her full screen? Thank you.
You're very gentle, and it comes
But even though
What does that mean?
she has
like she's just trying to take shots, bro. Just because he's like, bro, and she takes his kindness for weakness. Cheyenne, I'm not gonna say he could beat your ass, but
nothing to say, she is dying to interrupt
he
me.
won't.
Hold on, guys. That's what we need.
She's attacking me now.
Yes.
You're very gentle. She intends it to seem emasculating. She's basically saying you're gay.
You might as well call him gay, because what you were trying to do was emasculate him. It's not his fault that you're not a real doctor.
Here he is
For
trying
real.
to have a civilized discussion, and here you have
halfway educated hood rat. You could not have put it better than that, bro. You could not. That is goddamn.
this hood rat trying to tear this brother down and emasculate him.
For real, bro.
This woman gives off hood rat, halfway educated energy.
I can hear her talking a lot while I'm talking. And by now I know we've talked at the same time for a while. This is bad TV. She's like a barrier preventing me from doing my job. And because we had talked about that specific issue all season long, I got upset.
Let's just stop and go back. Because I'm wrapping the show and you're interrupting me.
First of all,
This is what we spent a whole meeting on this.
We spent a whole meeting on this because we had spent a whole meeting with the producer to explain again this one issue. Don't interrupt him when he's wrapping the show. When he's doing any of the traffic cop business of hosting the show, as in moving us from one segment to the next or ending the show. I have to be able to do those things without her breaking in to say nothing.
Toure, first of all, Toure.
Why don't you let me wrap the show? I'm ending the show. What is the point of interrupting me? We're getting out of here. Like, what is the point? What is the point? It says go to host wrap up.
When you're talking to me.
She tells him to lower his voice that wasn't raised at that point.
I said,
Like,
why don't
He's just saying he's genuinely talking. Like his mic isn't peeking out. He's not screaming into the mic. He's not yelling. He's requesting rather calmly. If you ask me, if she's been doing this all season, he's handling this very well.
Won't you let me wrap the show? I'm explaining why I'm upset. I'm focused on the issue at hand.
He's not being aggressive. He's not really even being dismissive, but he just wants to wrap the show and get out of there.
Lower your fucking voice when you're talking to me.
So now,
then she's
the
cussing.
supposed doctor, who's supposedly a talk therapist, who supposedly understands conflict management, is cursing at me and mocking me for having feelings and trying to trigger me further.
Her name calling Toure means absolutely nothing, but it shows how ignorant she is.
This is not professional
Yeah.
TV demeanor, but it's definitely not a professional therapist with a doctorate. That's clear.
Because you're acting very, very gentle, very soft, and very feminine.
She's trying to trigger.
So if he hops through the screen and ooh,
Because you're acting very, very gentle, very soft, and very feminine.
like she wants to come at him and say he's acting very soft, gentle, and feminine when all he did was have a counterpoint. And it wasn't even a counterpoint. It was just a, hey man, I would love to have more gentle guys in the you know what I'm saying, in the world. That's what the world needs right now. And you challenge that? Like this is, and then you want to trigger him and like, you know what I'm saying, push him as far to the edge, over the edge as possible. And like, I don't know. And then she wants to try and act like she's like calm, whatever, talking about some lower your fucking voice and you talking to me. Who the fuck are you, bruh? Who the fuck is this bitch? I'm sorry.
She's trying to trigger me. She's trying to say you're gay because I'm upset that she broke protocol for the millionth time.
Soft and very feminine.
I'm very feminine, she says.
She calls him feminine.
This nigga said, I mean, you kind of are. Okay, bro. Okay, bro.
So getting upset is feminine? That's a strange thing to say when you're into female empowerment. You're acting feminine.
You used feminine as an insult when you're in female empowerment. That's crazy.
Is a diss in your mind? Is that what you teach your clients? Coach Bryant?
All right, you talk to your wife like that. You don't talk to me like that. I am not your wife.
What does his wife have to do with any of this situation? She's just trying to insult Toure. You don't talk to me like that. The calm demeanor of Toure is exactly what a lot of women tell men they're looking for, right? They want somebody that can be calm and understanding and speak to them in a way to try to get through to them. But now, that in Cheyenne's mind, that's weakness. And she's throwing it back in his face.
I'm not proud that I lost my cool, but even though I was upset, I remained focused on the issue. Your interrupting is making it impossible for me to do my job. And we had a whole meeting about that. She's attacking my manhood.
I'm not your wife, softy.
I'm not your
softy. I would have immediately, like, she gets really triggered when you bring up she doesn't have a doctorate. I don't know. I feel like he handled this very, very well. I feel like I would have also gotten upset and I don't know. Cause you can't, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing to be done here. You know what I'm saying? She's just talking shit. Like, besides talk shit back, but like, like, what, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's saying, like, softy, you're acting feminine, you're doing this, basically calling him a bitch and gay. And, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, gay niggas get down, bro. They get jiggy. You know what I'm saying? Like, they will whoop some ass. So I don't know why she's, like, coming at him like this, bro. And gay niggas fight bitches. Like, so what is the point here? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I feel like she is, and that's not even an I feel like, and I do know. She's taking his kindness for weakness and thinking like she could just say whatever to this man because he's a gentleman. And she took advantage of that, and she took advantage of the fact that he's not gonna like insult her. He's not gonna talk shit back. You know what I'm saying? He's not calm, but he's calm for the situation. You know what I'm saying? He's not yelling. He didn't stand up. He didn't do anything. He was like, bro, let me wrap the show.
wife softy. Again, with the attempted emasculation. Again, trying to amp up the problem and not taking any accountability. Again, trying to trigger me, trying to insult me, going way out of bounds. I am not trying to insult her. I'm saying, let me do my job. She's pulling off her earrings and smearing on the Vaseline.
Don't fucking talk to me like that. Check.
This bitch had the producer fucked up, bro.
Frank and Ariva, I apologize.
Check yourself. You don't talk to me like that.
She's still going.
Hold on, Doc.
Wife like that.
Doc, hold on.
This is not a person with a doctorate in psychology. I don't need to see any transcripts. She still was mad wild even after I stopped talking.
Shut the fuck up talking to me like that. That's what you do.
But she's still going. Is she lagging?
That's what you do. You better tap into your gentleness and real quick.
I don't hit women.
We went back to the beginning of the ending, and I read the final credits, finished my job, and logged out. It was the most disappointing ending to a season that I had worked really hard on.
Toure was trying to reason with her, trying to tell her something professional that she should have known.
Cheyenne, no Dr. Bryant calling that man soft and gentle like it was a drag while the internet is currently playing CSI Miami with her credentials is taking me the fuck out. And soft, please. Meanwhile, every time you ask or get asked a follow-up question, you want people to be soft with you, and all of your supporters are forming a prayer circle around you talking about giving grace and what? Softness. Because suddenly softness matters. Suddenly gentleness matters. And suddenly people should be handled with care, which is interesting because the first time that you got to try and sun that black man publicly, femininity and softness became the insults. Suddenly emotional regulation became weakness. And suddenly not performing WWE SmackDown masculinity meant that somebody was less credible. And let's stop with the fake confusion right now, because black people, we know what soft means when it's used or said at a black man with an attitude behind it. That is community code for you ain't man enough for me to give a fuck, care, or respect you. And that is the appetizer before homophobia and all of that shit really shows up. Honestly, the thing that is gagging me the most about this is that the woman that is publicly begging for nuance right now, empathy, understanding, and grace, tried to weaponize softness against somebody else. Bitch, you are currently asking for people to handle you gently right now.
You know, I really hate it when
this bitch always got a tits out, bro.
Come in defensive.
That's the only reason, like, you know what I'm saying? Nick Cannon and fucking Cam Newton and these niggas just like let her on, bro. Fucking Shannon Sharp, they just wanted to crack. They just wanted, bro.
Somebody else. Bitch, you are currently asking for people to handle you gently right now.
You know, I really hate it when y'all make me come in defense of a man. So many times
That's so funny
I have heard women.
I also hate that she took his kindness for weakness to try to sun him. Just I don't know.
Myself say that we want a man who's able to have communication without aggression. We want a man who is able to speak with us without yelling and without, you know, getting buck and all of that. We want someone who is able to have serious conversations, lighthearted conversations, funny conversations, awkward conversations, or whatever, and still not lose that respect for us. And in the clip that I saw between these two, that's exactly what Toure was doing. He didn't agree with her statements about gentle parenting. I didn't agree with it either, but he voiced his opinion. He voiced his reason why, and he tried to wrap it up. And she took a complete turn, an unnecessary turn. Why are we over here talking about, I'm not your wife, I'm not your wife, you better calm down talking to me like that, gentle. And we know what that is. We know what that is. You're trying to call him feminine. What? Because he not cussing you out and getting buck and saying he's going to put hands on you or something?
Is that manlier to put your hands on a, like, what did she want him to do? Like, what did she want him to do? Because she's just pressing the fuck out of him for no reason. Like, because, and she's in the wrong.
And we already have the situation where people don't think she's a doctor.
Because she's not. I'm just saying.
And you're literally giving us examples on a platter. What doctor talks to somebody like that, especially in a public setting?
I had worked really hard to avoid that moment right there. And I think the reason why I got so upset was that her interrupting me in that moment showed that all the work I had done all season long was for nothing.
Damn.
See, being the host of a TV show is about more than what happens on the air. You have to manage your relationships with the other people on the show so they feel comfortable to trust you as the leader. The audience perceives us to have good chemistry when we have built trust off screen. Then it will show on screen. I had spent a ton of time throughout that season coaching her up like I was her TV life coach. Cheyenne back then was a person with a ton of TV talent. She had charisma and would say captivating things sometimes, but she was still super raw as far as understanding the structure of TV. She would talk for 5 minutes straight, an unprofessionally long monologue that destroys the flow of the show. I was there to help her bridge the divide. I was brought in to be the host of the second season of the show. In the first season, they had seen that Cheyenne often said things that went viral, but she was very difficult to work with as far as the on-air stuff like interrupting co-hosts, talking for insanely long periods of time, wandering off of the subject, stuff that really damages the quality of a show. I was brought in as a veteran, experienced host to help bring more structure to the show, which really meant reining in Cheyenne's on-air excesses. From the first conversation we had, I did not believe she was a doctor, and I always bristled at being asked to call her that. It never felt right. I could tell she was nobody's intellectual. But as an experienced host, I knew that creating on-air rapport is about a lot more than what happens on the air. I'm the one leading the conversation, so I'm the QB, and I always understood that I had to make Cheyenne feel safe, as in, with me as the QB, you will be able to talk a lot. I will throw the ball to you as much as I can. You're the number one option. I'm here to lift you up.
Because her massive ego, like any of her sessions, podcast episodes, all she does is just talk, and you know what I'm saying, like they and the podcast hosts are just gonna let her go because they don't want to interrupt her. You know what I'm saying? And half the time she's going and like, you know what I'm saying, and she's like, you know what I'm saying, she's figuring out what she's gonna say next, what bullshit is gonna come out of my mouth next. You know what I'm saying? So
said those exact things to her over and over, much as I can. You're the number one option. I'm here to lift you up. I said those exact things to her over and over. She loved football analogies. You're the number one option on every play. I told her that so many times. I'm always looking to throw the ball to you, as in throw the conversation over to you. I communicated that on the show and offline. When I introduced the three guests, I introduced her last and put extra sauce on her intro to indicate that she was the star and placate her ego. I texted her before and after shows saying, you're the number one option. I'm going to get you the ball more than anyone else. But you got to let me do the traffic cop stuff. You got to let me change segments and wrap the show without having to compete with you for the space. You got to know that when I tell you to chill, don't interrupt, you gotta chill. I'm the host. Exactly. And when you go against the direction that I'm building up, it messes up the whole thing.
It looks bad.
And it looks like a mess. To have the permanent guest interrupting the host while he's driving the show is giving soul plane TV. And I am never trying to do soul plane TV.
That's so funny.
So I assured her over and over that she was the number one option. She's my number one wide receiver. I made sure that she got to talk whenever she wanted to. She could do a tiny pinky move and I'd know Cheyenne wants to respond to the point someone just made. Let me get her in. She was truly the first among equals, and I set her up to talk more often than everyone else. She often took her time and said completely uninformed things, and I didn't smash her. We were teammates. Sometimes I let her tease me and get the best of me, and it was fine. Like here, I teased one of the other guests about being too young. He's the youngest member of the show. So I said he was too young to remember Obama.
Dimitri, does this feel, I know you weren't alive for the Obama administration, but does this feel disrespectful to the former?
Cheyenne leapt in to say, Toure, you're so old, you're dead.
That's okay, Dimitri, because Toure was technically dead. He's an ancestor.
Okay. I let that pass without comment. All good.
Did anybody
Make
laugh?
a joke at my
Did
expense.
anybody laugh?
That's okay, Dimitri, because Toure was technically dead. He's an ancestor.
Okay.
Okay, that was like a 4. You could hear the.
Okay. I let that pass without comment. All good. Make a joke at my expense sometimes.
So I can
No
take it.
problem. That can be good for the show. I did not make jokes at her expense in the same way because I didn't want her to feel like she had to get me back. Again, placating her ego. But I was unwavering in the message that children should not be spanked. No.
That is low-key crazy to think about. Like, some of y'all were not alive for the Obama administration. Like, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? That is crazy. I remember I was sitting in the basement with my parents watching the fucking, you know what I'm saying, the TV, bro. While Obama was getting sworn in, man. That was big. That was big. I think I stood up. You know what I'm saying, for that shit, bro. Put my hand on my, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, let's go, BZ. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. But that is true. That is low-key funny.
No hitting, no corporal punishment, and placating her ego. But I was unwavering in the message that children should not be spanked, no hitting, no corporal punishment ever. And she was unwavering in saying what no child or family therapist would ever say, gentle parenting is bad. That's just not how a family and marriage therapist with 3 doctorates talks. That's not how someone who has been through the academy sees the world. But after months of telling her, you're gonna talk the most, and proving that show after show, giving her more chances to talk than everyone else, even despite all of that, she couldn't prevent herself from fighting for one more comment. I was so disappointed because I had put so much into building her up and making her feel special and making her feel like you will be heard. Just let me do my job. And even still, she lacked enough self-control to actually be professional. This was someone who loved to.
Even now, he's handling himself very well. Because he hasn't called her he hasn't called her out of her name one time. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing it for him. You know what I'm saying? Because this bitch is insane. She's just a psychopath, I think. Definitely a sociopath, because she doesn't give a fuck about, you know what I'm saying, what she's putting out into the world and how it's affecting people. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, this, you know what I'm saying? He's doing really good, bro. He's doing really good. We almost done.
Hear herself talk. Not someone who tried to make sure she had something valuable to say. I fear all of this comes because she wants to be famous and wants to be listened to. She thought she could fake it till she made it. And what we have instead is a case of stolen valor, the academic version.
And I went to school with Cheyenne Bryant.
Okay, so she did go to school.
She was already calling herself doctor. We got into an argument about it one time because the dialogue we were having in class was, do we call ourselves doctor even though we weren't completed with school? And she said she paid so that she could be a doctor. We got into a very heated argument about it. And our instructor said, you cannot say that you're a doctor if you haven't completed your dissertation and done with school. Period. Now, I don't know if she graduated or not. What I will tell you is I got my transcripts last year. So when she's saying she couldn't get it, she lied, because I got my shit.
I suggest that we all as a community just collectively ignore Doc McStuffins, okay?
Check yourself. You don't talk to me like that. Shut the fuck up talking to me like that. That's what you go. That's what you do. You better tap into your gentleness, and real quick.
Thank you so much for watching.
Because you look like a Muppet, bro. Yo, Toure, shout out Toure, man. You know what I'm saying? All right, man. Yeah, I think, like I said, man, I think he handled himself very well. I think he did a great job on the air. He even did a great job here. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? No, not to be on his nuts or nothing, you know what I'm saying? But, like, he's doing great. He's handling this whole situation very well. But, yeah, love y'all. See y'all. Holla at your motherfucker boy, man. You know what I'm saying?